Joined by James Duffy and our TSN Soccer panel, who are sweating through their suits because of the humidity in New Jersey right now. Yeah, it's great to see you guys. You're so great on the broadcast. I thought Jesse Marsch made such an interesting comment after this game, James. He said the tournament caught up with us a little bit, and he wasn't really talking necessarily about the competition, just the travel, just the heat, just the humidity that you guys are dealing with. Curious if the panel agrees with what Coach had to say.
Yeah, and Jay, I think he also was just talking about his depth in general, and he mentioned that. The fact, look at Argentina. Lautaro Martinez was the leading scorer in the tournament, and he started on the bench, and the guy who replaces him, Alvarez, scores a key goal as he did the first time against Canada. So I think it's just a point to the depth, and that Canada had to play their best players more than a team like Argentina throughout the tournament. And in the end, look, there's a lot of differences between Argentina and Canada, but Julian, like, depth is a massive part, is it?
Absolutely, absolutely. And these are going to be the conversations Jesse Marsch will have with the coaching staff, with the federation. And this is the preseason phase for Jesse Marsch. You know, coming into a tournament like this, spending this many weeks with these boys and realizing he hasn't the quality maybe to rotate players and give them a breather, because this has been a long tournament. And you know, we all know from our past experiences playing international football in these tournaments. The travel.
Well, I don't know.
I mean, sorry,
yeah. I have no idea
not
whatsoever.
No, but the international football and the travel and being away from family, and it's grueling. It's a grind, and it's getting to them. And I think this is where we kind of see the fatigue kicking in, and it's time for them to maybe rotate players and give them a chance against a team like maybe Colombia or Uruguay.
Yeah, as well, you have 3-4 days in between games.
Yep.
Sometimes, if you're lucky, you have a week in between games. So the games come fast, and with the travel as well, it makes it really hard. And if you have 14, 15 players, makes it that much harder. So yeah, that's the one thing that we're kind of hoping for to see over the next couple of years before the World Cup, is to get more and more depth throughout the program, and that will help us a big amount.
I think Stevie said it on commentary tonight as well. He was talking about the fact that he did look a little tired tonight. I just felt there was no real spark at the start of the game tonight, like we'd seen in the previous games. Real intensity to Canada's play. And maybe it was the heat, because you can look at a number of factors. Jesse Marsch will probably try to play it down a little bit, but it took a lot out of the players tonight from the past exploits, what they've done against Venezuela, that penalty shootout. There was so much for us to admire about this tournament, but I can only imagine how jaded they are actually feeling coming into MetLife tonight.
And even if they had more energy, and perhaps even if they had more depth, would it have mattered? Because didn't we see tonight the difference in class between Argentina and Canada? As great as this tournament's been for Canada, the levels, are they just not here and here?
Jules, Argentina tonight went up 3 or 4 levels from what we'd seen in this tournament. They were so good without the ball. The one thing we always admired Argentina for was how good they were without the ball. Every one of the players, well, Messi doesn't do the work, as we know, but the 9 other outfield players run and run and run for Messi, and they're so good defensively. And we haven't really seen it from them in this tournament like we'd seen it maybe in Qatar or even the last Copa. Tonight we saw the real Argentina, and that may be going into the final for this weekend. Argentina now immediately will be favourites with the talent that they've got. But I was maybe looking at Uruguay and Colombia thinking these two could beat them. I don't feel that way now after seeing them tonight.
Yeah, they've gotten better as the tournament's gone along. And I mean, we talked about Canada improving, but Argentina has improved as well. And I think there's a crazy stat I came up with where the last, maybe concluding this game,
did you
26
make it up?
games. No.
You came up with it.
I actually looked it up. I looked this one up, actually. 26
So Google
games.
came up with it and you just found it.
Yes, I did my homework, put it that way. But 26 games, Argentina have only conceded 8 goals in the last 26 games. So it just goes.
They've lost twice in 5 years.
And that too.
Right.
So this is the best team in the world. And I thought at one point Uruguay and Colombia were probably the better teams in this tournament.
Yes.
But I think tonight that narrative has changed.
Nothing that happens in this game takes away from what has happened the last 3 weeks, which is when we started this tournament, it was like, maybe Canada can they get a win? Can they get a result?
They get a goal.
And then you get a goal first, then a win, and then getting out of the group, and then to win that quarterfinal the way they did. Can we overstate how invaluable this experience has been for this team and this program as we head towards 2026?
This has been so big for the guys on the team. You know, they really went out there and they showed that they can play with the best of them. They had so much confidence. They had a lot of belief in themselves. They looked around and they trusted each other and played very good. You know, we said it earlier on. They weren't just managing to just get by in games. They played good football. They created a lot of chances. They expressed themselves, and it looked good, I think, for the whole country, and really helped to get Canada on the map.
Yeah, I mean, you would expect them to maybe sit back in a game like this and just absorb the pressure and maybe win it off of a set piece, but they tried to play the football that Jesse wanted, and I think that was a positive, and they're going to look back at all the positive they could take from it, but the clear and obvious area that needs help is up front.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it is. I mean, we spoke about the goals, the lack of goals throughout the tournament. That incredible goal that they scored against Peru, and then they backed that up with another goal, Jacob Schaffelberg against Venezuela, and then to win on a penalty shootout. There's so much that we can admire about what Canada have done in this tournament, and I think each and every one of the players that's been involved in this camp will come out of it better players, without doubt.
And it's not over. There is that third place game, which will likely mean more to Canada than the loser of that other semi-final. And Julian, you said your brother's got a bronze medal, right, from the World Cup?
From the World Cup, yeah.
And cherishes it, right?
Oh, yeah.
A third place for Canada. Look, fourth would be great, but a third place finish for Canada this tournament, Jay, would be something else, and they'll get that opportunity on Saturday night.
Guys, you are great. Thanks for this. You can all go shower now. Not necessarily together, like you can do it separately. Thank you, gentlemen.